Okay, hi everybody. Sorry if my lighting is not that fantastic right now. I just wanted to touch base. Have you guys ever had one of those weekends where you just wanted to forget about life, just get completely messed up and move on and pretend like you're at some beach in a hot spot vacation? Yeah, that was my weekend. I'm really just like not having it, dealing with a bunch of personal issues. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base and say hello and check on everybody else, as well as do some updates on the coronavirus. So there's been many businesses that are going back to normal, that are reopening their doors, that are extending their hours, and all of that is due to all of our efforts in quarantine and precaution methods such as your masks, washing your hands, social distancing, the 6 feet apart, stuff like that. So I just wanted to congratulate some of you guys for putting in your part. I mean, it's not easy to sit around and do literally nothing kind of thing. And we did that. So I'm very happy to announce that where I live particularly, we are slowly getting back to normal. And I'm excited that the rest of the world's going to follow suit with that. So how's everybody else's day going? My lighting just really sucks, and I'm so sorry. Where is world statistics? Because I want to know what's happening everywhere right now. I really do. I want to know how many people have been confirmed. So 4.66 million cases. There was an extra 86,827 since the last time we spoke about this. 312,000 deaths and 1.71 million people recovered. I was suffering from mild symptoms of this virus April, and I'm happy to say that is dissipated. I still have a little bit of a cough left, but it's nothing serious, so that I'm happy to announce. How is everybody else doing around the world? And are you still having to quarantine? And are there still restrictions, maybe even military or police patrolling your areas? I'd like to know if anybody's curfews in your state, province, or portion of the world, if those have been lifted for you or not. So please fill me in. I'd love to know. Hi, Billy. What's up, girlfriend? I'm feeling better, but not 100%, but it's getting there, so that's okay. I'm happy that it's not getting worse, although I was very prepared for if that was going to be the situation for my life particularly. Thankfully, it did get better, and it's still getting better, so that's a good thing. How's everything where you are, Billy? Is there still quarantine? Is there still curfews, lockdown? You finally went back to work. Yeah, I'll be going back June 1st to help at the local restaurant that I work for here in town. So that's a good thing. Very disappointed with the Shopify store, and my apologies to anybody who did go through that journey with me. I honestly believe that Shopify is a platform that is not meant for helping others to succeed. Oftentimes, customers waiting months on end before they're actually getting their product, completely dissatisfied. I played with it for half a year, you guys, okay? And yeah, we had orders, but by the time those orders got there, it was ridiculously long. Nobody should be waiting months to get their stuff, including me. I was waiting like 2 months for some things. So completely dissatisfied, and my apologies for anybody who, went through that with me. It was really not a fun process. But live and learn, right? And you won't know until you try some of the adventure avenues that are, in the world to know if it was successful. So I was pretty disappointed. I found that there were often products that I would add into my store, and literally overnight while I was sleeping, these products would be discontinued, no longer carried. inventory was knocked down to nothing, or sizes weren't available, all kinds of mess ups and mistakes and crap, to be honest with you. And very disappointing, because you're paying monthly in order to use that service, in order to try to build a successful store for yourselves and the people that care about you, right? And completely just went the other way. Hi, Nadeem King. How are you? My back is hurting me, but that's an everyday, all day, all night thing. But whatever. We're not gonna talk about that, because we're trying to stay positive here, even though I'm talking about the disappointments with Shopify. However, if there's anybody out there in the world that's thinking about doing that, I don't recommend it. I really feel like the business model is really, really poor and set up so that, yeah, Shopify is really successful because they're taking everybody's money in order to start building a store. And you think you're doing something awesome and you're using your creativity and stuff, only to find out that the products aren't available, that, orders aren't coming in as frequently as they should be. Places that you're advertising are taking down, links, or the links aren't working, or hackers are coming around, taking the link, screwing it up so that other people can't get to the proper page in order to make it's just a huge hassle. So my recommendation to anybody who's wanting to start something lucrative for yourself is to, hi, Kara, how are you, girl? My recommendation, if you want to start something for yourself, is to build a brand of something that you've created yourself. There are a lot of things out there that, you can do, and you can create and make your own little spin on things. So don't go through the same channels, is I guess what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, if you see that something wasn't successful, why go about it thinking, oh, it's going to be successful for me though, right? Because that's usually where things end up getting screwed up and they're not successful at all. So, hi, Deborah. Hello. So, yeah, new adventures to come, kind of thing, and definitely live and learn. And being a go-getter like I am, I'm interested in trying different avenues to have many revenue streams coming in. They may not all be thousands of dollars, but if you have several of these revenue streams, it adds up. So, definitely don't lose hope, and try to find a product that, would be something that you enjoy promoting and that you are passionate about, right? Something that you have some knowledge on, also handy, right? So we aren't going to be on too long today. I am heading out the door soon, folks. I want to go and get some fresh air. It's beautiful outside. And, I just wanted to kind of touch base and say hi. And my weekend, though, I tell you, all of the family situation going on, Mother's Day that passed, my own personal issues, along with, this quarantine virus crap. It's a lot. It was a lot to deal with all at once, all by myself, But I'm really good at pushing people away who seem to like me too. So whatever. Hi, Rosalinda. Hi, Jeremy. It's a work in progress is the end of that sentence, if you were listening. Hi, Darwin. Hey, you know what I heard is that the thrift stores are going to be opening up slowly on Wednesday again. So that's good news. However, there's not going to be any change rooms, which really does make things difficult. I definitely packed on a couple pounds, it got a lot bigger, but whatever. My point is that, it's difficult to buy clothing if you can't even try it on. So there was a TikTok skit for President Trump talking about how, it might get a little bit bigger, not sure how much bigger, but it might get a little bit bigger, but we're prepared. I'm planning on doing a little skit about that. But anyways, how much weight did I lose? I was 320 pounds at my top weight. So I lost well over 100 pounds for sure. Some healthy, some not so healthy. But it is what it is. It is the truth. So, but yeah, I definitely had one of those weekends where I just wanted to forget about everything. I was just so finished with it. I still am finished with it, but regardless, definitely Paws and Boots. Welcome. It got bigger due to the cheese. That's so funny. I don't have a whole lot of cheese anymore, but yeah, no, it just definitely due to not having as much activity going on in your life. That's what it was for me, anyways. You have to lose 75 pounds. Well, here are some of my top recommendations. So, portion controlling your foods so that you're not just constantly eating and eating and eating and eating. Definitely get the carbohydrates lower and then raise your activity. And Darwin, for somebody like you could afford to put on a weight, like a chest weight, and go for a walk. And that all alone by itself is enough to trim you down. I like Tupper Bridge. It gives you a bit of the incline and the decline. People who are living in like BC where the mountains and stuff are, they're so lucky because they have all of that naturally with their sidewalks and stuff. It's already a very hilly type of place where you can go and get a good walk in. Whereas we live in the prairie lands and stuff, it's a little bit difficult. But I'm telling you, when you get on that incline and decline, the incline you want to go as tall standing as you can. The decline you want to lean back and you want to go as slow as you can to really get the burn going for your body. So those are my recommendations. Also, drinking a ton of water is definitely recommended. Minu, no. But well, you know what though, Riverdale Tales, it actually is, slowly but surely, everybody's starting to reopen, elongate their hours. This pandemic seems to be slowly wearing off. Now, that's not to say that there's not going to be some type of an explosion of more cases that have come out of nowhere and they're going to shut everything down. Like, I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying it looks like it's starting to be over at this point. Now, what happens in the future as far as, well, if everybody goes back to normal and that creates the virus to start spreading again, yeah, I could see them shutting everything down again, But for right now, where I live, things are slowly going back to normal. And as far as what I've heard from other people in Canada, it's the same deal. Slowly, we're all going back to normal. We're all opening our doors. We're all going out again. We're all doing things again. Some of the larger gathering places, such as churches, which I attend, are not going to be able to start gathering until the very end of this epidemic situation. So the places like church gatherings and large facilities and stuff, those type of situations are not going to be open right away, but they're going to be last to open, right? So I mean, it's coming and it's starting. So here we're doing all right, is what I'm trying to say. It may or may not come back. We have no idea. So, I mean, yes, there's been talk about that exact thing happening because it's happened with past pandemics where somebody has said, okay, it's gone, it's back to normal, everybody go back to their life, and then boom, it explodes again, right? So I don't necessarily think that may not happen. I'm just saying that right now, specifically where we are living in Canada, things are slowly going back to normal. Will this be the end of it? I don't know, but it sure is going in the right direction to get there. We may have to go back again. There may be some things that happen again that sort of make other people, worried or concerned, right? But we're not there right now. Right now, we're at the point where things are slowly going back to normal. People are going back to their jobs. Jobs are elongating their hours, and there's all kinds of different, gatherings and things that are happening. So they shouldn't be opening again because it's going to come back because a lot of people are going back to normal and spreading it. See, that's the thing, though. Like, it's not like it's it's an airborne virus, guys. It doesn't really matter what anybody does. If this virus isn't under wraps yet, and there are some places that it is still floating around, then yeah, it could still become a problem. As of right now, there's virus vaccines and there's been medicines that are implemented in order to combat this virus. So it's not like we're just like, oh, you know, everybody's good now. It's just that we realize that we have the lowest amount of numbers in the frickin' country. So why would we still keep everything on lockdown when they aren't growing here? They're diminishing. The amount of people that have gotten better are increasing, and the amount there are no new cases. So we're good here, is what I'm trying to say. Hi, Kindness Matters. Hi, Amy. You haven't seen anything change in Ontario? Right, but I heard that Ontario folks weren't really listening and weren't taking the precautions as seriously as when this first started. So, I mean, that's why the officials had to put in place curfews, and they had to put in place arrests and fines, you know, for not obeying the law and the government saying, hey, listen, this is a situation and we need to get it under control. We need all your help to do that, though. So there were a lot of people that were like, screw you, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to live it on anyways. And that is why things had to change in Ontario. It also changed in Quebec. Same situation. People just weren't really listening. They were out in parks doing whatever, spreading this thing, not knowing they even had it, some of them, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's not what was happening in Manitoba. When people said that there was a pandemic and we needed to get quarantined and we needed to be safe, that's exactly what we did. We just listened, and we didn't buck the government, and we didn't fight the authorities. We just listened and said, okay, well, we'll stay in then, and we'll close the doors and we won't be open anymore, and blah, blah, blah. So, but slowly, here where I live, things are turning around and going back to normal slowly. Disappointing that the thrift stores are not going to let you try anything on, which kind of defeats the purpose of thrift shopping, because if you can't try it on and you can't return it, like, why are you going to buy it anyways then, right? You might as well shop online where you can return it. You know, where you're at, they aren't opening till June 1st. Schools are staying closed for the rest of this year. Yeah, that's exactly the same here. Riverdale Tales, same thing here. They're not a cure, the vaccines, but they do combat the virus, and there have been millions of people that have recovered, so using that exact medicine. So proof is in the pudding, in my opinion. Sergeant Kobe, if people know proper hygiene, the spread wouldn't be that great. You know what the spread would not have been this great on would have been? It would have been if China would have told the rest of the freaking world last year in October of 2019, when the epidemic and pandemic of this virus started. It would have been smart for them to let the rest of the world know, so that we could hold back our citizens from traveling to a dangerous area that had a virus that was transferable and contagious. But nobody decided to open up their little mouths over there, and now the whole freaking world is up in arms about it, which is really just disappointing. You know, if you know something bad is happening and you don't actually even care enough to let anybody else know there's a problem, you might want to take some precautions. That's just extremely just so unethical and unprofessional in every way, shape, and form. This virus started by someone somewhere. And, you know, when they found out about it, they didn't tell anybody until 6 months later. Like, thanks very much. We could have been protecting our citizens from going over to your country if we had known that this was a problem at the end of last year. But instead, nobody said anything about it until March of 2020. And suddenly North America and the rest of the world is all like, ah, they could have done that and prevented some of this spreading of this virus if they would have just been honest about it from the get-go. But they didn't do that, right? So here we are. Here we are. Hello, Pow Pow. I'm not anxious. In all honesty, folks, like I've said this before, like it really doesn't matter what you do. If this virus is meant to kill a bunch of us, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter what we do, right? If it's meant to happen and that was what was in the cards, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. Now, that being said, it's obviously silly to not take preventative measures and keep your hands clean and wear masks and all that jazz, right? Especially because the symptoms of this is basically just like a flu, a common cold. So you really wouldn't know necessarily until it got so bad that it was affecting your lungs and breathing and all that you had it, right? So it is good to take the precaution in case you have it and you don't even know you have it, you know? Yeah, too much time that spread. Exactly. In all honesty, like they could have told us about all of this, last year. Like, oh crap, we've got a situation on our hands here. We need to tell the other government authorities so that people aren't just traveling back and forth like nothing's wrong when really there was very much wrong. So, really disappointing, that they didn't say anything sooner. And I think this could have been prevented had they have said something sooner. No, you can't return clothes. No, you can with stuff online, though. I have already, China wants world power. So, of course, they won't tell. Oh, my goodness. Such a political bunch of crap, to be honest. I think it's very, like it's dangerous and it's just cruel for them to let something like that get out and just spread around and not really say anything about it until such a long time has passed. Kind of ridiculous, but it definitely was planned. I mean, there were tons of recordings of talk about, an airborne virus and epidemic, pandemic. There were all kinds of those words that were thrown around literally like 5 years ago. But nobody really paid attention closely enough, nor did we really necessarily understand what he or she was talking about. But plenty of political figures did actually come forth and say some of these things about this. So interesting. Rocky Bayou, welcome. Thank you for joining. 2003, a movie had this coronavirus thing scripted in it. Yeah, no, there was knowledge about it. And, like I said, shame on the higher ups if they did create something like this in order to gain control over the population in a sense, which is exactly what they did, right? So, and I mean, it's it's interesting how they make you feel like what you're doing is good for you, even though psychologically, mentally, emotionally, none of what happened was good for us. None of it. But we've all made it through, and I mean, we're continuing to put our efforts in as far as everything that the world is doing in order to prevent this from spreading. Not sure about the movie title, but I'll find it and share it. Yeah. Mountain Man. Well, I liked the Mountain Man name, but Rocky Bayou is cute too. The little dog. Well, folks, all we can do is continue our efforts to not spread this if we have it and take our, cleanliness to a top notch, right? I mean, we want to make sure that we are doing our part so that this doesn't spread anymore, but definitely population control. You got that right. I'm glad there's some people that see right through some of it, but I'm one of those people that will tell you all we should listen to the government and the police. And if they are the ones that are abusing their positions of power and they are the ones that are hurting the citizens, I guarantee you the good Lord above is not going to allow them to just get away with that for forever. So mark my words, everybody's going to be held accountable. And if we do our part to listen, they're all the much more so going to be held accountable for the riffraff and the garbage that they inputted into the world and the people that they affected. So, well, folks, it's always awesome having conversations with you guys. We are not scheduled for lives anymore, but definitely make sure your notification settings are put onto the, I guess, the setting you want, right? But you need to make sure your Google account matches that as well. And it's the notifications section, okay? And then if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love, love, love to see more of you, your friends, your family. We have a lot of interesting interactive conversations here where everybody's welcome to say their opinion and speak their mind. As long as you're not attacking anybody else in the process, it's open to everybody. So I really, really appreciate all of you guys. It's been up and down ride for me throughout this process. So you guys are awesome, for those of you that have stuck by my side, and I appreciate you. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for your views. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the commentary and being able to chat back and forth with you guys. It was nice to touch base and catch up and just sort of see where everybody's at, in a sense, on this coronavirus. So thank you guys for watching True Stories with me, Sherry Weens, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of the weekend. See you again soon for another True Story. Bye for now.